A California appellate court came down very recently. Doe, I guess you don't want to use her real name, Doe versus Massage MV Franchise LLC. It was a case out of San Mateo County, like the Bay Area, and it was the first appellate district case. And it dealt with whether or not, when you check in, so you show up like a gym, and when you checked in, whether or not just clicking the accept button and then signing in or using your thumbprint was enough to bind the person to a separate agreement. So basically, customer shows up, signs in, and then when they signed in, they had to click. They understood the general terms, and then eventually there was a lawsuit, and they were talking about whether or not the fact that the customer was bound by, of the hyperlinked agreement, and the appellate court goes, no, they did not. It was a wellness agreement. They actually called it a wellness agreement, and the appellate court basically said in their decision, contracts presented on computer screens require sufficient notice to consumers regarding contractual terms contained in a separate hyperlink page. Here, everything about the checkbox next to the words agreeing to the franchise terms of such terms of use made it to appear simply part of the franchise general consent. The whole setup and process did not provide Doe, the plaintiff, the injured person, with any indication she was agreeing to an entirely different contract with an entirely different entity. Moreover, and they said MEF, so Massage MV Franchise, is click wrap agreement argument failed as there was no evidence that Doe was using a website to check in for her massage or that she had constructive notice. The sentence containing the hyperlink to the terms of use agreement was not presented in boldface, even though boldface was used to highlight portions of the general consent document. So basically, the court says if you don't let the person know that they're waiving certain rights, or they're releasing certain rights, or they're agreeing to an arbitration provision, very clearly it's not going to be enforceable. That's a concern for gym owners. People show up and they'll sign a release or sign a waiver or a consent form, and if they don't actually know it, it's not going to be enforceable. It's just something that the gym members and gym owners should be aware of.